WMUN, the Talk of Muncie. Here's your host, Director of News Operations and lead morning anchor, Steve Lindell.
We are watching the weather first and foremost. Lieutenant Governor live in our Zoom room. Seconds from now, Muncie Community Schools guest in Studio B at the bottom of the hour, and I think there's more this hour too. First and foremost, now the radar is live. What is it? The 11th of March. We'll bring that up right now so you can see that while we listen to WMUN meteorologist Paul Poteet.
Good morning. We're waiting on a cold front to move through. That's going to happen early this afternoon. That should shut down the thunderstorms, but showers could remain until early this evening. That'll also pretty much cut off the chance of any more severe weather. Most of the action so far has been off to the north and to the west of our area. Tornado touchdowns last night in northeastern Illinois and also in parts of Indiana, around South Bend, Stark County. Quite a few reports of tornadoes last night. That's up in the region in northwest Indiana. The gusty winds will be the biggest thing today. Some more downpours of rain at times, diminishing this afternoon. The temperatures will also diminish this afternoon, falling into the 50s. Tonight, then, an early evening shower chance, decreasing cloudiness, 29. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 47. Clouds will thicken in the afternoon, late in the afternoon. And then a few spotty morning showers Friday. There might even be snowflakes mixed in. Partly sunny, nice afternoon, 54. Dry, 45 Saturday. Storms Sunday, 68. Rain and snow showers Monday, 35. And just about spring late next week. There's your WMUN Muncie weather. Back to you, Steve.
And thank you very much, Paul Poteet. Hourly updates and urgent ones, too. If weather breaks out, we'll break in on WMUN, live from Studio B. We hope to have him in this room sometime. He is the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Indiana, Mr. Micah Beckwith, joining us now live and en route. Where are you now? Or are you in the basement? Yeah. No, you have a seatbelt on, so you're in a vehicle, right?
I got a seatbelt on. I'm driving. Well, I'm not driving. I'm in the back. But we're on our way up to Plymouth in Marshall County. We're going to be in Marshall County today, meet with local officials. We have a town hall tonight. And, so just out on the road, traveling, listening to Hoosiers. Bringing the government to them and asking how we can help.
Still doing the town halls. Those are really, really impactful sorts of meetings. I know you've talked about those before because you're talking directly with, to, and listening to people that are having joys and concerns, and you want to hear it all firsthand, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the point of government, is to hear the people, meet with the people, and we have our staff with me at this town hall, so whenever people have concerns, I direct them right to our staff and just say, hey, we'll do our best to help. I mean, we can't always...
Breaking up just a little bit there. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith is moving. There you go. I got you back moving there.
All right.
Let's drive
Sorry
up.
About that.
That's okay. We'll jump into our first of several questions and items here for you. Are you in favor of Governor Braun potentially suspending the state sales tax on fuel because of the situation that's going on at the pumps in Iran and everything? And what kind of an impact do you think that might have if it was done?
Absolutely. I mean, anytime we're going to suspend sales tax on anything, I'm your Huckleberry. I'm not going to be opposed to that ever. So I think we should always look at options like that. And if the governor feels like that's the best route to take, I would fully support it. And I think giving Hoosiers any type of financial relief right now, any way we can do it is a net positive for the state. And I think, the government just needs to learn to tighten its belt. And I'd rather the government have to tighten our belt than for everyday Hoosiers to have to tighten theirs.
For all of the interviews that Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith has done up to this point in his political career, I think that was a first and exclusive. He is now a Huckleberry. We'll mark that down and reference that as such. That might make some statewide news. I don't even know what that means, but don't even define it. I just want to let it float out there. I appreciate it. That's good stuff. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith, he's just a guy. I mean, he sits in the lieutenant governor's chair, but he can talk about things and so on, and he does. There's certainly no doubt about that. Back to the governor for a second, talking about data centers recently, and he seemed to indicate pretty clearly that data centers moving to Indiana will have to provide 100% of their own energy. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely right. We're basically putting the burden on the data centers to say, if you come, we want to make sure that you are actually making it easier for everyday residents and citizens of the state. And so, I actually was just in a meeting 2 days ago with the Meta people. That was the big thing I was saying, is like, you're not coming to Indiana if you're going to drain us of our resources. If you want to do these data centers, then you make sure that you are paying for all the energy you're using and then some. And that's what they said. They said, we're going to pay for 100% of our max load. And anytime we don't use our max load, that's free energy. It goes back on the grid, lowers the cost of energy for everyday Hoosiers, because they are paying for more than what they're actually even using. And that's really what we're asking all these data center companies. If you want to pick Indiana, okay, but make sure that you're not draining us of our resources. Make sure that the locals have absolute transparency. They want it. Governor Braun has been very clear. We're not going to put it in places that people don't want it. If the locals want it, they can have that right to bring it in. If they don't want it, we're not going to jam it down anybody's throat.
Indiana is a state that's clearly favorable business climate-wise to such things to come into the state, as some other states are not so favorable for that. But what's Meta and what are the companies saying when they're opposed in that fashion? Like, hey, here's what you got to do, guys.
They're all in. They want to be good neighbors. I mean, they don't want to go to states out. And they were even saying it's actually conservative states that are the ones that seemingly are much more pro-business. They're pro-freedom. And off the record, the guy at Meta was saying that even the leftists, the very top of the company at Meta, he said even they're realizing how bad leftist policies are for business. And so they're softening up to these red states, because the red states are like, hey, we don't want to be against business. And if this is a good thing for the people of our state, and if this is a good thing for the business environment, let's talk, but let's just do it in a wise and
Again, the camera's breaking up just a little bit. He's en route. He'll come back online in just a second. I'm Steve Lindell, WMUN. This is Delaware County Today. Live radio, live Zoom room. He's right back there. I see you moving again, Lieutenant Governor. So again, two things that have happened so far this morning on WMUN. He is to be referred to as a huckleberry, and he just told us an off-the-record comment from somebody. We're getting off-the-record juice here. This is fantastic. I always enjoy my interviews with you, but I always get something out of it. But it's fantastic. You're telling me everything. I love this, Mr. Lieutenant Governor.
I love it. I love it.
Another item in the legislative session that ended recently, there was legislation, and you've talked about this and your feelings about how the lieutenant governor would be selected and elected. What happened to that in the session, and what's your position on it still today?
Yeah, well, it rightly died, and that was good. It was a really bad bill. It was brought up because there are people within, I would call them the establishment or country club Republicans, the Indianapolis Republicans, that they don't like the grassroots everyday Hoosier. They really have. They're an elitist crowd, and so the people that are jumping on board with getting rid of the conventions or the statewide nominating process at the conventions, they really do this because they know it's easier for everyday Hoosiers to actually have a voice in the convention. When you have to do a statewide primary, you've got to have at least $5 to $6 million in today's political climate to even have a chance. A convention, you can win a convention race for under $100,000 and a good message and a hard work ethic. And that gives normal people a chance to go out and raise money, to build a coalition. And the establishment doesn't like that. But thankfully, all the statewide, we signed on to a letter and basically put out a statement saying this is a terrible idea. This would remove power from everyday Hoosiers. This should never happen. And let's make sure that we, once and for all collectively say this is not good for our state. So the bill died. I think most of the Republican leadership that might have been supporting of it, they knew that if they supported it, it would be a very bad thing and a bad look politically for them when they go back home and have to answer to everyday Hoosiers on the ground. And so it died. But, like everything, it could resurrect again next year. We always have to be vigilant, and I think that's the long play for some of these people, is to get rid of the conventions, to steal more of the voice from everyday Hoosiers, and we just can't let that happen.
Delaware County today. Steve Lindell talking to Lieutenant Governor of Indiana, Micah Beckwith. I don't want to fixate on this Huckleberry thing here, Mr. Lieutenant Governor, but I just got a text, live radio. You just never know what's going to be happening. This is from my friend Judd Fisher, who was just in as a guest the other day on this very same talk program, and he says, and I quote, I'm your Huckleberry is from the movie Tombstone. Can you confirm or deny?
That was Doc Holliday's classic line, and when he's getting challenged to a fight, he's like, "I'll be your Huckleberry." Now, there was a big question whether it's Huckleberry or Hucklebearer, and my one of my security guys was telling me it's Huckleberry because the caskets on the side of the handles on the side of a casket were called Huckle, Huckles, handles, and the bearers would be the casket bearers, and they'd be holding the Huckles. So it's a Hucklebearer, like, hey, I'll carry your dead body if you want to get into a fight. But I went back and we verified it is Huckleberry is what he says. And that's just, so that was the script. We had to go back to the script of Tombstone to actually, because there was a big debate in my office about, is it a Huckleberry or a Hucklebearer? And
whoa. How much time did you spend debating that in your office, please?
Well, listen, when you,
please tell me it was only over a lunch break or something.
It was very much, very quick. It was, it's amazing what ChatGPT can find when you type it in.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm not even, I'm going to get off the Huckleberry thing now, but I'm not even going to get into the ice cream thing because that was one of our conversations from forever ago, with I think is still fascinating, by the way. We'll probably cycle back to that at some point. Mr. Lieutenant Governor, any issues that you would like to talk to the state of Indiana in our neck of the woods about before we wrap up our segment today?
Yeah, well, thanks. The governor and I tomorrow have a press conference. We are just going to be partnering with the Turning Point USA and the Club America chapters around the state and really pushing to get Club America clubs started in all of our schools, which is pro-America, nonpartisan, just American value, just kind of the and so you'll be seeing that come out tomorrow. That we have a news conference with at the residence with TPUSA national leaders, and then I will be out in Arizona on Friday meeting with Erica Kirk as well to really just solidify this more. And there's other states, states like Arkansas and Oklahoma, Florida, and Texas are doing the same thing. So we're jumping on board and just say, hey, it's really important to train up the next generation in the way they should go, and we want them to know why America is such an exceptional, God-blessed nation, and what they can do to steward that for the future and for future generations. So I'm excited about that, and really want to see those chapters starting up.
I don't know if you're familiar with, you're breaking up just a little bit there again, Mr. Lieutenant Governor. I know you'll come back in just a second, but I don't know if you're familiar with the FCA, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Last night, the big region event was in Muncie at the Horizon Convention Center. Dabo Sweeney, the Clemson head football coach, was the keynote speaker. A lot of great kids, a lot of great huddles. The group is growing, good people doing good things. I would encourage you, if you don't know about the FCA, to look into it and maybe think about attending their event next spring. It's fantastic. I'm going to let you go now, but you enjoy your town hall. Safe drive to you, and I appreciate the time very much.
Hey, thank you, Steve, and always appreciate coming on. God bless you guys, and I'm sure I'll be up in Muncie, and I can't wait to see the studio in person someday.
Yeah, please do come in. All right, very good. That's the Lieutenant Governor as we continue here from the aforementioned Studio B. This is Delaware County Today on WMUN.
Let me paint a picture. It's midnight. Sirens blare. You have only seconds to grab your child and run. Now imagine you're elderly. Your legs don't work like they used to. Getting downstairs feels impossible. And after all of that, you end up in a bomb shelter for hours, even days, because you can't make that trek again.
This is what's happening across Israel as Operation Epic Fury continues. Children are being traumatized. Families are exhausted. Homes have been destroyed. That's why the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews is there on the ground, bringing food, emergency equipment, care for children and help for the elderly. They're also supplying bomb shelters and medical centers with critically needed essentials.
If you've ever wondered what it looks like to stand for Israel and stand for good against evil, this is it. Please act now. Give $45 right now to rush life-saving essentials to the vulnerable under fire. Call 888-488-IFCJ. That's 888-488-IFCJ, or go online at ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org.
The March tournament brings volatility, upsets, and momentum shifts. With Webull Predictions, you can trade strategic positions on college basketball outcomes. React to matchups and assess probabilities as the tournament unfolds. Whether your bracket is busted or you're on the way to the top of your leaderboard, bring your strategy to your trades in real time. Get started by downloading the Webull app today or visiting Webull.com. Event contract trading is speculative and may not be suitable for all investors. Customers should carefully consider the associated risk before investing. Visit Webull.com/disclosures.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community Schools.
From Studio B on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio in Muncie, Indiana, US of A, we're going to get on to our local news summary in just a moment. First, let's get to the lighter side of news, a snapshot of your day today.
It's March 11th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. It's National Worship of Tools Day. Whether you're a professional repairman or just a handyman who works around your home, you should own and know how to take care of a basic set of tools. Chances are you may already have some tools laying around where you live, so take the time to go out to your shed or garage or down into your basement and organize and clean your tools, and if need be, buy some new ones. Also on this date, in 1892, the very first March Madness game is played in Springfield, Massachusetts, as a crowd of 200 were on hand at the Armory Hill YMCA for the first public basketball game. The final score, the students beat the teachers 5-1. And in 1918, U.S. Army mess cook Private Albert Gitchell of Fort Riley, Kansas, becomes the first documented case of Spanish flu. The global pandemic would go on to claim the lives of more than 50 million people. I'm Tushar Saxena, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, the home of Ball State basketball, presented by Pridemark Construction. Later this afternoon, you're going to hear them, the Cardinal women basketball team from Cleveland in the MAC tourney. And we have Mick Tidrow, who will be live in our Zoom room at 8:45 this morning to preview that game and so much more. Our news summary is also talking about weather. You're looking now on the video feed of the map that is current as of 8:23 a.m. Eastern Time on March 11th. The local news summary includes some weather information. We get that to you now on WMUN. It might be easy to think human trafficking is something that happens far away from here, but Grace Horizon Executive Director Audrey Weger told Oldies 101's Anderson Journal Morning Show it can hit much closer to home.
What we understand with trafficking is that it impacts the folks who are most vulnerable in our society. So we look at all of those demographics here locally and we say, yeah, we have those folks here too.
A Golden Night with James Goldhound Ham is coming Monday to Muncie's Ivy Tech Fisher Building at 6:30 p.m. It's a chance to meet the TV Gold Hunter and hear behind-the-scenes stories. Tickets are $10, advance orders only. The event serves as a fundraiser for the Muncie Area Career Center. Spring property tax installments for Delaware County residents are due May 11. Tax statements will be sent out March 31. There's more info link on our news page this morning. Crimes against minors often happen with people already embedded in a child's life who have earned the child's trust. Madison County Deputy Prosecutor Andrew Hanna told Oldies 101's Anderson Talks afternoon show.
The number of cases where it's sort of a stranger danger kind of situation are few and far between, to be quite honest with you. Those are the kind of cases that people often think of when they think of these situations, but the reality is usually not that.
Muncie Community Schools has been nationally recognized by Strive Together, a Cincinnati-based company. MCS lauded for raising the literacy proficiency, improved attendance rates, and above-average graduation rates, among other factors. The Gathering of the Queens Food Pantry has found a new home in the old YWCA building in Anderson. Director Marilyn Collier told the Herald Bulletin an agreement has been reached with the Anderson Zion Baptist Church, who owns the building. Ball State women's basketball opens the Mac Tourney today in Cleveland against Bowling Green. Coverage expected to begin a little after 3:30 this afternoon on RWMUN.
Anderson police tell us they're investigating a Monday night shooting in the 2600 block of Pearl Street, where they found a 25-year-old woman with a gunshot wound. At last check yesterday, she was in critical condition in an Indianapolis hospital. Detectives have identified multiple persons of interest as that investigation continues. Brett Busby, Wolf Boom, Radio News.
Second Harvest Food Bank is adding an in-house garden that could soon provide a boost to several programs.
We're going to specifically send that food on our mobile market that goes out.
That's CEO Becca Clausen on Oldies 101's Anderson Journal Morning Show. Among the projects Anderson Mayor Thomas Broderick Jr. highlighted during his State of the City address, the Herald Bulletin saying $130 million investment to increase the capacity of the water department, including building a new well field and treatment plant. State Senator Scott Alexander hosted a trio of Delaware County students who served as pages during the recent State House session. Delta, St. Michael Catholic, and Pendleton Heights students all were represented. More local every day on our free wolfboomnews.com. From our Studio B location here on the south side of Muncie, Indiana, we broadcast every day for you. If you want to reach out, ask questions, make comments, or just compliment us. Oh, we love the compliments. WMUN at wolfboom.com. On our streaming listener list, Anderson, Indiana. Is that Brett Busby who just reported for us on WMUN? He says a power outage earlier in the Anderson area has now been resolved. Thanks for that, Brett. Minnesota, Mama, hi, Roger, listening to Portland, Oregon, Los Angeles, Missouri, Louisville, Kentucky. That's how some say it. Columbus and Cambridge, Ohio, and many others. Far more of you are listening to terrestrial radio. That includes, of course, 92.5 FM. The CEO of the MCS, coming up on WMUN.
Principal at Southview Elementary School. With nearly 500 pre-K through 5th grade students of all backgrounds, Southview is a rich melting pot of active kids eager to learn. Our incredible educators are always going out of the way to make sure students are supported to meet the high expectations we place on them. Our iRead 3 passing rates have climbed to nearly 20%. We invite you to come to our school and take a closer look. At Southview, we are all stars.
Muncie Community Schools, placing learners first.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. America is listening to Fox News Radio.
Updates hourly on the Talk of Muncie, the new WMUN.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community School.
In the two-shot right now, on camera too, that is Chuck Reynolds. He is the CEO of the MCS on the WMUN. Did you get all those letters I was throwing at you there?
I'm all over it. Good morning, Steve.
Oh, good morning. I've missed you. I've missed you.
I know. It's been a while.
He's been here every month for so many of the months that he has been the leader of the pack there, but last month, our visit was interrupted because of some work that you were doing. We're going to get to that in just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do these conversations operations because we want to find out what's happening behind the scenes at the entire school district. We have, the principal of the high school in every month, too, to talk more Bearcat stuff. And this is more global in nature. And you have a school board meeting coming up. The Board of Trustees will meet next Tuesday. Is that about right?
Yeah, next Tuesday. We just have one meeting in the month of March to to accommodate spring break. A few action items on there that are pretty exciting. First of all, Longfellow's going to come in and present. Just love my Longfellow Lions and the principal, Mr. Moore, and I'm sure he'll bring in some students and some staff members to talk about the exciting things going on at Longfellow. Then we're off to finances, right? That's kind of what is stirring the pot right now for the school district. We're going to ask for an additional appropriations, some more spending on this project. Oddly enough, it's because of the interest that we've earned on the bond money.
Wait a second, huh?
Yeah, I know. So
we need to get Jerome in here to explain the factoids there, because it's too confusing to me.
So we get those bond proceeds on our book. They are on our books, and they earn interest. So we're allowed to dedicate those dollars back into the project. So that's a win-win for the schools and the taxpayers. So we're asking for additional appropriations. You never know what that interest is going to be until they accumulate a little bit.
Okay.
And then we're going to do a second part of that bond project. If you remember, we're doing about a $19 million bond project to renovate a number of our buildings. Nothing fancy, roofs, windows, heating and cooling upgrades, those types of things.
Stuff, yeah.
Not fun stuff, but got to do stuff. So we split that project into two bites to offset some of the incurred interest rates on that second piece. So just notice that they'll be selling those here soon. And we one of the things I'm sure we'll talk about is SEA 1. I know Lieutenant Governor Micah was just on, but we continue to keep close eye on that and recognize that that's going to impact our school district and have to tighten our belts some.
How much do we have to tighten our belts? You say some, but is there any idea of what the number or impact might be? And I know that kind of changes from moment to moment sometimes.
That's exactly right, Steve. It's not a some of the previous tax changes came and it was 1%, 2%, and 3%. It's pretty simple to calculate. These changes roll in through 2031. So over the few years, those will run in. Manageable over the first few, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Then it gets pretty tough. We're $2.3 million, $3.8 million over 28 and 29. So we're beginning to look ahead. Certainly not going to get ourselves in any financial situations, but we want to be mindful of that.
I mentioned earlier that you weren't able to attend last month. We have this on a monthly rotation here with the CEO of the MCS, Chuck Reynolds. You were off doing work at a conference. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was with the IDOE.
Well, there's another acronym. Look at all these acronyms. We should get paid. Every time there's an acronym used, we should get a quarter. There should be
jar.
A jar.
That's right.
Yeah. So what was that?
So the Department of Education invited us and two other school districts, one from South Bend and one from Evansville, to head to Florida to attend a very special literacy conference. A very small conference. It's embedded in a school corporation in Indian County, Florida. Called the Moonshot School is where most of it took place. They've had some tremendous work on literacy over the last 25 years. And because of the progress and the work that we've done, we were invited to that conference, talked about early grade literacy, talked about systems of change and sustainability to implement any of those changes, and also a track on data usage, which we can always grow and get better at. But it was just a tremendous conference. I don't know that the MCS team loves when I go to those places and see those things.
Yeah, they do. They've actually told me
I come back and I have these excited ideas and I want to share.
They're glad that you're away. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Yeah, you come back with ideas. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no. Come back with ideas. And in fact, we're going down today to the State House to meet in Dr. Jenner's office to talk about what we've learned and some possible implementation of those strategies.
All right, very good. Chuck Reynolds, breaking news right there here on WMUN. They got all kinds of information. Live radio, you just never know what's going to happen here. Chuck Reynolds is the one in charge of the Muncie Community Schools, which has made incredible strides in recent years. So many great educators, so many great students, so many great student athletes. There's a lot of attributes, and you are very proud of what has become of this district, aren't you?
Oh, Steve, it's just tremendous. I have the best job in the world. I get to visit schools and see kids and support teachers in our community through education. But I have a really unique view. The day-to-day, just like anybody's job, it can be tough, get discouraged, but boy, when I go out to those classrooms and see the great work, it's just unbelievable. On the way in today, I heard Casey Smitherman, the principal at Southview, and the little promotion we have for the school district that she's the voice of currently. And her work in that building with the early grade literacy and specifically the iRead 3 test, which we are wrapping up right now, is just tremendous.
We recently ran a story in our MuncieJournal.com and also here on WMUN. There was a Cincinnati-based company that's involved with another accolade for the district.
Yeah, so Strive Together is a national organization that helps communities wrap community partners around the schools and with the schools. We're recognized for the work with the George and Francis Ball Foundation and our community partners, because education and understanding literacy and getting better with your literacy, it has to happen beyond the classroom, and wrapping those community partners around that is just so critical. And I have to say too, Steve, that without our Ball State partnership, we're not having those conversations. I mean, the freedoms and the thought partners that we have because of that partnership is just tremendous.
Chuck Reynolds is from the Muncie Community Schools, our video room in Studio B, where he likes to be, but I did tell you had to wear a shirt today. Were you a little disappointed that you had to put the shirt on for this?
I was just going to wear the suit tie, no shirt for that look.
Gosh,
see what that would look like. And so I thought, well...
we're into almost band season now, and the reason I say that is because I saw a post of the marching band from Muncie Central High School. Dates are set, plans are made, and it's exciting for everybody, especially you.
Oh, I love that time of year, and it's really year-round, right? The kids are working hard all year. We're wrapping up our winter color guard, right? The flag folks that go out and perform, they perform at the state contest in 2 Saturdays. The percussion will go out and they'll perform at their state contest, and 3 Saturdays, which all builds and leads to that state fair contest. Just tremendous. They've had I can't divulge the show information, Steve.
Why?
It's top secret.
We have it on the air already.
No, not the show.
Show I see what the theme and the planning and the
music and the theme. You can't share that, Steve.
That's very secret.
Very secret.
You'd have to take me out? Is that what you'd have to do there?
Yes.
That would be bad.
Yes.
Because then
no hesitation.
Because then who would do the show?
That's right.
We're hearing back in the Axia Command Center, we may have some breaking weather information coming in right now. So for those of you watching on the video feed, that is uninterrupted. Chuck Reynolds is in here this morning talking about all things Muncie Community Schools. I'm Steve Lindell. This is WMUN. One of the other things before we wrap up our segment here, it all kind of ties together. You mentioned the Ball Brothers Foundation, and I have too. Judd Fisher actually texted in earlier this morning during the program. You may have heard that when you were waiting out in the vehicle. But he was in that chair earlier this week and mentioned the Excellence in Teaching Awards that are coming up. One of the things that the Ball Brothers Foundation is very proud to do, to salute Muncie Community Schools teachers. What does that mean to you, and more importantly, to the educators in your midst to have that kind of support?
I tell you, Steve, the support of the Ball Brothers Foundation is like none other. The opportunity to recognize and to support in that special way through the foundation is tremendous. The teachers the teachers recognize what kind of honor it is and really take pride in that award and leveraging those funds for their classroom.
Chuck Reynolds is our guest on WMUN in Studio B. Thanks very much for the time and your service. Have a safe travel to the State House today.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Move on to my next thing here. In fact, I think we had some breaking weather news just a moment ago. We're live back on radio now. The National Weather Service has the system through the emergency alert system that we certainly are a part of at WMUN and Woof Boom Radio. So that which just aired on radio is weather happening right now. We do know there earlier this morning was a tornado watch issued. That means that conditions are favorable for severe weather, including but not limited to tornadoes, until noon today. This is March the 11th as we're talking now at 8:40 in the morning. The reason I do that, the time date stamp, is because a lot of people replay and podcast audio and now video, so want to make sure you know what you're hearing and when you're hearing it. Stay close to the radio. Immediate updates from the National Weather Service, just like you heard a moment ago during Delaware County Today and any hour, any day. Plus, meteorologist Paul Poteet with weather updates, and on demand, you can click around our websites and get that as well. More coming in a moment, including Mick Tidrow talking about not only the Ball State women in the MAC tournament starting today, right here on WMUN.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. The Indiana Association of Realtors says lower mortgage rates are having a positive impact on the Indiana housing market. CEO Mark Fisher says inventory, which has been very tight statewide, is beginning to loosen up, and a market that has seen lagging sales for 2 years is beginning to thaw.
Right now, we have more inventory on the market than we have since 2019. So buyers have more choices. We've seen some of that free up as the sellers that may have been sitting on some lower interest rate mortgages, kind of getting that pent-up demand and moving into the market. So we should see both buyers and sellers returning to the market this year.
An annual analysis from Site Selection magazine ranks Indiana third in the Midwest for corporate facility investment projects. The 2025 Governor's Cup ranking tracks all eligible projects through the publication's proprietary database. To be included, a facility construction project must involve at least $1 million in investment. You're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader.
Here in Muncie, we know what it means to show up for one another. We celebrate our wins, big and small. And when times get tough, we lean in, not away. At WMUN, we're more than just a voice on the radio. We are your neighbor, your friend, your connection to what matters most. Every morning, we wake up with you, sharing the stories of our city, highlighting the heroes you don't always hear about, and cheering on the teams that carry our hopes on their shoulders. This isn't just news and sports. This is home. From the streets of downtown to the heart of Delaware County, we're here because you're here. Thanks for letting WMUN be part of your day. We're proud to be your hometown station. Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell. presented by Muncie Community School.
Live radio in our WMUN Studio B. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Madison County in central Indiana, western Delaware County in east central Indiana, northwestern Henry County in east central Indiana, northeastern Hamilton County, and southeastern Tipton County. That was that automatic takeover just a moment ago by the National Weather Service office. That happens the way our system is set up by the, Sean Mattingly and Justin Peckinpah, our technologists that make sure that you know what you need to know in emergency weather situations. That's how that works. And we'll continue tracking that. Thank you, Caleb, also, who sent me a quick text to make sure that we were aware and alert of everything happening in that regard, too. You can click on weather updates and information on our websites. You can also kind of get away from it all when you think about the Ball State women's basketball squad, who will be in focus right about now as we focus on none other than Mick Tidrow, the voice of the Cardinals. I can see you. Can you hear and see me, sir?
I can hear you, Steve. I can't see you though. But
okay, well that's a win. That's a win for you, actually. As long as you can hear me, it's radio, the original social media. Mick Tidrow is in our Zoom room via Studio B here on the campus of Woof Boom Radio. We're talking about all things sports, Ball State-wise, and we have to start with the lead item, and that would be the Today Fun in Cleveland, Ohio. Mr. Tidrow, lay into it.
Yes, Steve, it'll be an exciting stretch run here for Ball State women's basketball. I think the team's made for a really good run here, and starting off with Bowling Green later today. It's a team they beat in the regular season, team that I think is a good squad at the 7 seed, so you can't ever take anybody lightly. And I like what the team has done, though, from Brady Sally's side, because every time that they got knocked around a little bit, they responded well. And I think that's the mark of a good team. But the slate is clean now, Steve. Everything's wiped away. Nothing really matters except for this 4-day stretch in Cleveland, Ohio. And every team that's in has a chance to get to the NCAA tournament. They all know what's at stake. But there's definitely that sense of there's a lot of teams in this tournament that feel like they could win it. And when you look at how well Central Michigan, UMass, Ohio all played this year, those 3 through 5 teams can't be overlooked. Miami and Ball State are obviously at the top, and rightfully so, the co-regular season champions. And congratulations to that group for back-to-back regular season titles in Ball State's case, because it's a hard thing to do in today's landscape, Steve. We all know that, and you just think that they've put a really good regular season together, and things are coming in the right way. So
for those watching our video presentation here in Studio B, we're talking to Mick Tidrow in our Zoom room. For those that were listening to our radio broadcast moments ago, live right now, another weather alert is coming out. I can hear that through a sub-channel of my headphones. That is happening right now, affecting parts of Muncie and Delaware County. We continue with our Zoom room chat here about all things Cardinal sports. So on to the next item here, which is a very fun thing for us on radio. And you did a fantastic job on the opening game as we got Ball State baseball underway back and in a large way on WMUN, Mick.
Really great stuff for that first weekend, Steve, of Ball State baseball here on WMUN. And again, just want to thank everybody, Mike Shebeck, Coach Maloney, Jeff Mitchell, Ball State Athletics department-wide, baseball, and Wolf Boom as a whole for making it happen, because I think it's a great partnership for the team, the community, and the surrounding area because of the prestige that the program has and the excitement. And there was no shortage of excitement in those 3 games against Central Michigan.
Really?
So I'm glad that there was a chance to broadcast those on this platform, and very grateful for it all. But that's a big series win for baseball to start off 2-1 against Central Michigan. I think a team that's going to rise this year in the Mid-American Conference. I think the last 2 years they've been down, but I think this is the year that they get back to where they need to be and make a run at the MAC tournament. So Ball State picking up a very big series win, and this coming weekend hosting Eastern Michigan, which will also be on the WMUN platforms.
This is Mick Tidrow. He is the voice of the Cardinals. He covers all things red for us. He has that program on Thursdays, too. I'm very excited to find out what his show run sheet looks like tomorrow. I'm not going to ask that just yet because I know he's making a face at me in the Zoom room. Sometimes that's a last-minute decision because it's very timely and topical, the things you're bringing up. Is that not a correct statement, Mick?
That is very correct. We are looking at some conversations from Cleveland for tomorrow, should things go the right way.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
We'll tease it from that standpoint, and we'll go from there.
Last item before we wrap up: there's a change in the men's basketball program. We reported on that over the weekend, and some more in the following days. What's next for Ball State? What's next for the Ball State men's basketball program?
Yeah, Steve. I think it's just a lot of waiting from everybody to see what ends up happening and what the hire is. I think that's the next step between now and when the portal opens, because once that April 7th date hits and the national championship game is in the books, portal opens and teams are being constructed. So there's that window that the folks hiring and Jeff and how it's going down, they've got that window of a couple weeks here to make that decision. And them doing it when they did the day after the season ended gave them the optimal chance to have the most amount of time available to make those decisions. So between now and March Madness ending, there's going to be a lot of time, I'm sure, spent by Jeff and company to find the right person that they feel like runs the program the best. And it's exciting to see what that could look like, but it's all a waiting game for the rest of us.
All right.
And
we will look forward to the continued reporting on that and the next steps for Ball State men's basketball program. We'll look forward to your program, too, Thursday morning, 9 a.m. here on WMUN. Mick, thanks a lot.
Yep, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it always. Go Cardinals.
All right, chirp, chirp to the Cards. For my producer, Aiden, we're going to jump to the second to the last item on our run sheet here. Securing America is the name of that feature. As many as 200 people gathered in Tennessee to honor a Navy veteran. Fox's Kevin Uretsky has that story.
Securing America.
Tuesday in Nashville, the community paid tribute to a Navy veteran with no known family. Lonnie Wayman was laid to rest during a service at the Middle Tennessee State Veterans Cemetery. Between 150 and 200 people attended the memorial in a facility that normally holds about 60. Robert Millian is the cemetery director. He praised veterans like Wayman.
They're the reason we were able to be here and celebrate the freedoms and liberties that we have.
Gary Willis is one of those who came to pay his respects.
Someone forwarded me the story about him, and it just struck me early this morning. I just really wanted to come out and support him and show him that, people do care and have a respect for the military.
He added,
just the thought of him coming out here and being laid to rest without anybody, I couldn't tolerate that. I had to be here.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
On WMUN, live from our video Studio B at Wolf Boom Radio, we have more breaking weather coverage on terrestrial radio, 92.5 FM and 1340 AM. We expect more of the same through the day today. Updates from meteorologist Paul Poteet as weather happens. Final item on our list, a very informative high school student, actually innovative, makes the grade, scoring a spot on the Dean's List from the 2021 archives.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
High school students from Maryland who helped a father stroll with his newborn makes today's Dean's List. Matt Ziegler, Bullis School's Bit Lab coordinator, created a class that focused on collaborative efforts with advanced technology that would focus on projects inspiring empathy. Matt says he wants his students to think outside the box and come up with ways to help others. This year, they wanted to focus on Jeremy King, who had brain surgery 3 years ago. He faced balance issues, and it wasn't safe for him to carry around his newborn baby or push a stroller. So the class came up with two ideas: an infant car seat attached to a wheelchair, and the other was connecting the wheelchair to a stroller so he could push it. Both inventions were given to the family. After the project was completed and tested for safety, instructions to build the models were posted online to help others facing similar obstacles. Matt and his students at Bullis School you make the Dean's List. Janice Dean, Fox News.
And on WMUN, we wrap up our day today. A late hello to Minnesota Mama and Roger, Portland, Oregon. Sister Sherry might still be there. We're watching the weather closely on WMUN.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. You ever feel like running a business is just nonstop? Every day's game day? That's why going pro with Lenovo Pro just makes sense. You get real one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and gear that's built to help you stay ahead of the competition. So whether you're scaling up, hiring up, or just trying to keep up, go pro. Because when your tech works harder, your